Boy, I do that every week. This is not. Should be. Hello, hello. There we go.
And here's the floor.
Am I coming through? Oh, there we go. There we go. There we go. Okay. Apologies to my guest, Jonathan Kingsbury, for ringing the bell in your ear without saying hello. Welcome, everyone, to the annual meeting of the Rotary Club of Des Moines. I'm President Matt Musick, and we're happy to have all of you with us today. I want to begin by introducing guests. So if each of you could stand as I say your name, I'd appreciate, first off, Brian Beckett. Nice to see you, Brian. Welcome to the Rotary Club of Des Moines. Brian is here as a guest of Kevin Kassir and CFO at Come and Go. Jeremy Brummel is here from oh goodness, I'm going to be in trouble, aren't I? Wells Fargo Bank. Guest of Paul Johnson. I already mentioned Jonathan. Jonathan Kingsbury is here, President and CEO of Instapro International, the guest of me today. Mike Zundell. Did I say that right, Mike? I did. Mike is here as a guest of, Mike Heiser, and is the founder of Legacy Bridge Private Family Office. Welcome. Thank you for being here. We have three guests with us today from the Des Moines Botanical Garden. I don't know why they're here. No. But if you could each please stand, that would be great. Kim Perez, Nicole Grabowski, and Alex, is it Nuzum? Nuzum. Very, very nice to have all three of you here today. Well, I'm sure we're going to hear more about why you're here at some point soon. And finally, if Butch Frost could please stand. Butch is here from the Salvation Army. His attire gives him away. Here as a guest of Algros. Speaking of the Salvation Army, I'd like to remind you that we are still looking for a few more volunteers to ring the bell at, yes, that's right, Sue, thank you, at the Hy-Vee on Fleur, December 10 and 14. You can sign up at the badge boxes. Thanks to Al Gross and Sue Woody for coordinating this effort. One other thing about that, we actually have the bucket, right? Yep. You're going to talk about that. All right, good. Okay, and the other thing I need to mention is if you look on the table, there's a flyer for the Iowa Wolves game. Remember, this is our annual event to try to raise money for end polio. Thank you, Jeff Stickle, for representing this club so well for so many years. That happens on Saturday, February 4. You can scan the QR code on that flyer to buy tickets, or I'm assuming that you could probably just reach out to Kitty to buy those tickets as well. If you want to attend, great. Even if you don't want to attend, as we've done in the past, you can buy as many tickets as possible, and others will put them to good use. Okay, ready, Jordan? Ring the bell. Here it comes. Where in the world has Matt been recently? So, as everybody knows, I'm out traveling a lot, and I was with past President Doug Saltzgaber in Portugal, of all places. So Doug has just recently been to Portugal and was kind enough to take me along. We were, in a number of places, Doug. I saw a Rotaract project at their botanical gardens, ironically. Hiked a lot, swam in the harbor, and looked at African wood carvings, and of course drank some wine. I don't know if everybody can see that all the way back there, but that was fun. If you are planning an excursion or trip, please take me along. It's a great way to have some fun and also make me look silly and make sure that all the rest of us know where you've been traveling. Okay, and you can check out the flat mats with Kitty, and they come in two forms. Just flat, and with a stick. All right, now it's my honor to invite past President Catherine Staub to the podium, who will lead us through our election results, I guess just telling us about the election results in our annual meeting.
President Matt. Hello, it's good to be back up here. No, this isn't a coup. You won't see me again up here for a while. Matt is saying please stage a coup? Or please, no, we don't want any more Catherine. Anyway, moving on to the reason I am standing up here. Thank you all of you who voted via SurveyMonkey. That's how we are doing our, since the pandemic, we've been doing our voting. We did receive a quorum for our 2023-24 Board of Directors. So these members were all approved and will take office July 1st, 2023, which of course is the start of the Rotary year. So they are President Becky Greenwald, President-elect Kevin Kassier, Vice President Ashley Bonenkamp, Secretary-Treasurer Tim Lilwitz, Sergeant at Arms Josh Braby, and then new board members with 2-year terms are Ashley Melnick, Claudia Schabel, and Carter Smith. Congratulations to all these club members and thank them please for their service. And now I welcome Graham Gillette to the podium to lead our moment of inspiration and the pledge and 4-way test. Graham.
Thanks, it's good to see everybody. You know, recently, for whatever reason, I don't know if it was intentional or not, I've been reading and thinking and writing a little bit about the concept of home. And if you think about home, we all define it a little bit differently, right? I mean, home can be a place on a map, a geographic location. But for so many of us, home is a place in the heart. It's a place where we feel safe, where we feel protected, where we are at our best. And I was thinking about that coming over today because of our program. Des Moines in central Iowa is our home for most of us and is a place on that geographic map. But it's also that place in our heart. And one of the things that makes Des Moines great are a little bit what we're going to talk about today. We all see our home as not only a place where we seek refuge and protection from the world, but the happiest homes are the ones that actually make the world a better place, where we invite our neighbors in, where we make our community better. And so if you think about what we're doing today with our grants and all of our grant applications and all that this club does and we do individually to make our home better, that is the concept of home. And as we move into the holiday season, I want you to think about that a little bit. Think about home and about what that means to you and how making your home and your neighbor's home and our neighbor's neighbor's home a better place. And so with that, let's go to the 4-way test. Oh, do the pledge first. That's why I have Matt beside me. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now the 4-way test.
Is it true? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Thank you.
You can please greet your guests.
See it now, drop the ball. Thanks, man. All right, good to see you.
We have all these
Jordan, yeah, it was nice to meet you earlier.
Nice to meet you, yeah.
Good. Hi, Steve. John. Good to meet
It's my honor this year to serve as president of our Rotary Club's foundation. Good afternoon to all of you. Thank you for being here. I'd like to thank all of you for your support of the Rotary Club of Des Moines Foundation. Your donations make today's grant award possible. This is the 10th year we've been able to make a difference in our community through these grants. In those 10 years, we have awarded over $300,000. This is the 5th year that we will be awarding a $40,000 grant to be transformational in our community. Our Rotary Club of Des Moines Foundation balance of approximately $2.2 million generates funding each year that we use to make a difference in our community. The foundation board designates those funds to the club for support of our charitable initiatives. The Rotary Club of Des Moines Foundation is our nonprofit 501c3 arm of our organization. Each member contributes quarterly to the foundation. Those of you that have a green dollar badge on your badge, also, or a dollar symbol on your badge, also contribute $150 annually. Thank you very much for your commitment to that. And you may have noticed that we've reintroduced the tumblers this month. So thank you very much for your support of those tumblers. And also, so we can be as effective as we can, please remember to volunteer to sign up after the meetings to help count those tumblers on a week-to-week basis. On behalf of the foundation, thank you very much for your continued support. At this time, I would like to introduce Al Gross, our Grants Committee Chairperson, to recognize the recipient of this year's grant award.
Thank you, Don, and good afternoon, everyone. But before I get into this, what I'm really here for, I just want to echo the comments earlier about the kettle. We are still looking for about 4 or 5 more volunteers, and there is a kettle out there. And you may have seen in the news in the last week that some rare and gold coins have been dropped into the kettles here in central Iowa. So if you are out of coin or you don't have any cash with you or a check, gold coins or rare coins are much more than welcome. So I encourage you to do that. But thanks again, Don. And I'm honored and privileged to stand here as the chair of your Rotary Club Community Grants Committee. And in a little bit, I'm going to share the exciting announcement of who's going to be the recipient of this year's grant. But before I do that, some thank yous are in order, and I'd like to share a little history in the process of what we go through. So first of all, to the Community Foundation of Des Moines, a couple representatives there that we reached out to early, Jordan Richardson and Ellie Burns, were very helpful in getting the word out to various nonprofits in the community to apply for our grant. Obviously, as Don said, the Rotary Club of Des Moines Foundation, all of you that make that happen, this would not be possible without all your support of that, so thank you for that. For the Grant Members Committee, please stand as I say your name and we'll recognize the committee that has been part of this process. Katie Lynn Butcher and Nick Nelson are not here. They moved to Tennessee, but they were on the committee. Ashley Melinek, Jamie Boersma, and Eric Oberfeld. I think Eric and Jamie are here. Thank you for your time, commitment, and your passion for the process. Kitty is not here today, but obviously behind the scenes she makes all of this work and come together, so thank you, Kitty. And lastly, Ganesh is my predecessor, and he helped share a lot of information, and his files and notes were very helpful for me as the first-time chair of this committee, so thank you, Ganesh. For those who are newer members of the club, a little history. Don alluded to that earlier, but we started this process, as he said, in the 2013-14 Rotary year, and at that time we did a $25,000 grants, plural, in that we gave it to various organizations. And since then we kept that at the $25,000 level for a number of years and supporting various organizations such as Adaptive Sports Iowa, Beacon of Life, Central Iowa Shelter and Services, Orchard Place, Amanda Cares, Child Serve, and many, many others. But in 18-19 Rotary year, we upped that amount to $40,000. And the idea was to do one grant that was more significant and more impactful in our community. In the last 4 years, we've supported Courage League Sports, Dorothy's House, the Rotary Rosie Reader Band with the Des Moines Public Library, and last year, the Easter Lake Project with the Des Moines Will County Conservation. So that's a history, and the process that the committee goes through really starts early this year. The foundation, first and foremost, has to approve the grant being issued, and so they did that earlier in the year. And then reached out to the Greater Des Moines Community Foundation, again, to get the word out to them. They know a lot of the nonprofits in town that could benefit from this. We also put the word out on our website, and of course, it's word of mouth through all of you as Rotarians. In August, we had our first meeting. We went over our process, the calendar, what we're going to do. And by the deadline on Labor Day weekend, we had 11 organizations that applied for our grant. Committee then reviewed those, we score them, we have a criteria in which we outline to all the members of the committee to go through and score those and rank them. And then we finalized the list down to three organizations that would come and do in-person presentations to the committee. We did that at the end of October, and after that we decided and voted on the recipient. And we think we have a great selection. So therefore, after all that, I'm extremely pleased to announce that the Rotary Club of Des Moines Community Grant for $40,000 this year goes to the Greater Des Moines Botanical Garden, and this will support their Nature Play Area project. Our grant will fund a critical component of their continued growth plans and provide an area for children to learn and enjoy the garden. So here to accept the grant and share more about the project is President and CEO Kim Perez with the Greater Des Moines Botanical. Kim?
Thank you all so much. I'll apologize in advance. I'm recovering from bronchitis. It's super fun. We are just incredibly grateful. We know that those 11 applicants were all stellar applicants. And so to be able to have been selected for truly a grant that will be transformational for our garden is so exciting for us. When we presented, my colleagues Alex and Nicole and I presented to the committee, we decided to try to bring a bit of the garden to that presentation, and we've done that a little bit with you today. On each table, there's some written materials, but more importantly, there should be a little box or basket of some of the kinds of things that we use in nature play with children. They are seed pods, and they are parts of plants, and they are ways that we can teach by engaging children. And this is the method by which we've engaged kids in our programming so far, because we've never had an outdoor play area for children at the Botanical Garden. Your gift and grant for $40,000 will bring that to the Botanical Garden for the first time ever, and truly will be transformational. We've been engaging children in programming more and more each year, especially over the past several years. We've got robust summer camps, and we've got winter break camps, including later this month. We've got all kinds of drop-in programming for families, but we've never had an outdoor play area where children can come and explore. So on the screen before you, you see the blue outlined area. Those are all of the acres that we have yet to develop that are part of the Botanical Garden. I'm guessing, I know, based on the fact that we've got members in this room of the Botanical Garden, that many of you have been there, but I'm also guessing that there are members of the Rotary Club that have not visited the Botanical Garden. Many people in Des Moines that have known the Dome for years, since 1979, still don't realize that we have outdoor gardens. And so the blue area is the additional outdoor gardens we'll be adding over the next decade-ish. The red rectangle is where that nature play area will originate in by the end of June of this year, of 2023. As we continue to expand, children's programming and children's engagement will be a big part of that expansion, and your gift will continue to be able to be utilized even as we expand. As we design this nature play area, which we are beginning on December 19th and 20th, with Nature Explore, a company out of Lincoln, Nebraska, they will be helping us to design a scenario where we can start off in that little rectangle and then spread it bigger and utilize that equipment over the rest of those acres as we expand. It'll have one form in the beginning, and it will evolve as we evolve over the years. So we are just truly going to be able to transform with your gift, and we are incredibly grateful. There are some materials on your tables, I believe, as well, that have some images, and maybe on the next slide, some of the types of equipment that we intend to bring to the Botanical Garden, so that children can explore in nature, get muddy, get dirty, play with actual natural products, but also do the kinds of things that children want to do. They want to balance, they want to move, they want to jump, they want to slide. And we will use the natural landscape at the Botanical Garden to help create this environment. And again, we'll continue to be able to do that in design as we continue to expand. We are beyond grateful for your generosity, so thankful to have been selected, and truly know that this will be transformational, not only for the Botanical Garden, but more importantly, for members of our community who have young children and want to help them connect with nature in ways that they've not been able to do before. So thank you so much for helping us to bring this to life.
Does anyone have questions for Kim before?
Yes, sir.
What are some of the other programs you do with children? Talk about some of the break things.
We have summer camps that run throughout the entire summer, week-long camps. Each has a different theme. They're anywhere from nature explorers and jungle to garden artists, magic in the garden. Thank you, Alex. Many people don't realize that we actually have a chem and plant sciences lab on site with actual laboratory equipment. So we have the opportunity to teach young children all of the different parts of plants and the ways that the water cycle works, and how plants grow and how they are pollinated. And I'm looking at Alex because it's her team that runs all of those things. There's lots of different types of programming. We have a really robust field trip program as well. And there are some examples of programming that we're taking into local schools as well, which is newish for us, about a year and a half old. So we are trying to do more. I would say if there's an interest in something that we're not currently doing, we are really interested in hearing from you, because we would like to be a good partner. And so if there are ideas that you have, or your children's or grandchildren's teachers might have, please reach out, because we would love to make those connections to begin to build more. We are planning for things like internships in the future, and a variety of different ways that we can engage not just young children in elementary school age, but older young people as well. Any other questions?
Kim, somebody said at the beginning of the meeting something about home and working together. Smart guy. But doing part of my job as a board member at the garden, would you talk a little bit about membership and the importance of membership? I mean, as a member, you receive something, but it's a little bit about what you were just talking about there, and that continued engagement with the community if you're a member.
Yes. Sure. Graham asked about membership and the kinds of benefits that go along with membership. In fact, it's not surprising that we got this question. There should be some material on your table. We've got more if you're interested. The members of the Botanical Garden are very important to us, as I'm sure the members of Rotary are very important to you. Our members have a lot of benefits. Free admission all the time. If it's a family membership, your children get free admission. We do Story Sprouts most Fridays. We have all kinds of programming, winter programming. I was just telling Jonathan about, being in central Iowa in the winter, finding a place that's warm and kind of tropical feeling is kind of a perk. Friday night Dome After Dark, we have every Friday through the end of March. We have concert series in the summer as well as in the winter, Botanical Blues every Sunday, 2 shows every Sunday. Those are free to members. And so there's also really kind of scaled pricing for members as well. So summer camps, there's a member rate and frankly early admission into summer camp. And the fact that we were sold out of summer camp by March 31st last year for all weeks, I think maybe -1, is a really good reason for, it's a really important membership perk. So thank you for the question.
And also the reciprocal memberships, because I've taken advantage of that.
345 other gardens across the US are free admission as well. And we have found that that's a driver for a lot of visitors into Des Moines. Being a part of the American Public Garden Association, which we are, there are quite a few gardens that are realizing that garden-focused tourism is growing. And we're seeing that here in Des Moines as well. So, again, lots of different perks. Happy to share more information. Yes, sir.
How will visitors to the garden be aware of this grant?
So we will work collaboratively with thank you. I'll repeat the question. How will visitors to the garden be aware of this grant? We will work collaboratively with members of your Rotary Club to find the right method, signage, etc., to acknowledge it. Not only that, but we are so excited about it and we'll begin to publicize what we're doing, how we're doing it, the design process, get people excited as early as January. So we intend to collaborate with whomever, Kitty, I'm imagining will be our point of contact, to make sure that we are sharing, tagging, all the things on social media, but making sure that we can also include you in the articles that we will publish in Bloom, which is our membership magazine, goes out I think 3 times a year. We've got monthly newsletters to all of our members. All of this will be shared, photographs through the whole process. We're so excited. So we really want to go big with sharing it across the public. If you've got other ideas, we'd welcome them. Yes, Jane?
Yeah, so opportunities for us as a club, as volunteers around either the creation of the play space or after. I'm just curious if you could share what you might be looking at as an opportunities we might have.
Absolutely. So we've put a collaborative team together that will begin to meet with the designers later this month. And as we start to understand what questions they have of us and what their recommendations are going to be, which are going to be, I think we're going to challenge them because we've shared that there's one small space to begin, but that we want this to have a life, right, thank you. We want this to have a life as we continue to grow. And so we will challenge those designers to think bigger than simply a singular space. As we begin to do that, if there are members of your club that would like to hear about the progress, we'd love to get your input and questions as well through that. But more importantly, as we understand what the installation will look like, we'll be reaching out for help, volunteers, photo ops. Maybe there will be the opportunity to do a groundbreaking. There's all kinds of ways that we could really leverage this important relationship that we're forming through this generous grant that you've given us. Yes.
Part of the Rotary Club, we give out teacher awards every year.
Yes.
Do you have an outreach program, perhaps the teachers in science and others that, as you mentioned, going into schools, that we would educate them at the botanical garden? You talked about the lab that's there with Kemen and so forth.
The question was about the teacher awards and if there's a way for us to help connect with science teachers and things like that. It's actually such a timely question. Last Friday, I met with Jeff Weld, who is the head of the Iowa STEM Council, and we had that exact conversation. And so I believe that there will be more to come from that. Jeff and I have been in touch even just today about ways that the Botanical Garden can get more involved in the work of the Iowa STEM Council in their regional hubs. And so I do believe that there would be an opportunity for us to partner with you to help lift up what you're doing in terms of your teacher awards. So maybe we'll find the best person to be in touch with and do some follow-up that way. Thank you for the question. I wasn't aware that you guys did the teacher awards. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am. What's your overall anticipated budget for the park?
So for the nature play area or for the entire expansion?
Nature
Well, so that's to be determined based on the design meetings that we have with Nature Explorer at the end of the month. So they're coming in December 19th and 20th. We are very focused on the equipment. What I will say is that entire blue, that additional blue area, we are in the midst of a feasibility study for what that will be, and that in addition to some of our other expansion areas. The overall full scope of everything is probably going to be in the $25 million range. So this is a critical early step, but it's a little hard to answer that question because we're starting small and going bigger, and so we can certainly get back to you with more detail. Yes.
With that expansion area, would that also, in the realm of thought, include maybe a second, third, fourth dome?
I can guarantee there will not be a second, third, or fourth dome. Let me just be really clear. But we do have other facilities planned in that space. Our intention is to be more engaging with the riverfront and the John Pat Dorian Trail, which is right outside of our acres. So that will be a big focus for us, and as our property goes up to the University Avenue Bridge, that land actually starts to elevate and it goes up higher as well. And so we've built into our designs some projects that would look out from the trees over into the river area. So a couple of different structures / facilities, but absolutely not another dome. Any other questions? I am so grateful. Thank you so much. Oh, yay. And I know we're supposed to get a picture at the end.
We will afterwards.
We're so grateful. Thank you.
Thank you, Jordan.
Great, thank you for picking up the check, Jordan. I guess we could give away another 40,000 since Jordan volunteered for the first 40. Wow, thank you. Congratulations to the Greater Des Moines Botanical Garden. Thank you to the Grants Committee for all your work, Al, and your leadership. You got through Rotary Rosie Reader Band without even stumbling for your first time, which is pretty amazing. Thank you to all of you for the work, the contributions that you've made over the years to our foundation. It is truly one of the key attributes that makes us different at the Rotary Club of Des Moines that meets on Thursdays at noon. So let's keep supporting our foundation so we can keep doing this great work across the metro. Okay, we only have one more meeting in calendar year 2022. It's next week. It's our annual holiday event. Make sure that you RSVP, both yourself and we are gladly welcoming guests next week. So something I haven't been able to say, we haven't been able to say as a result of the pandemic for a while. So please do join us next week. There are no meetings on the 22nd or the 29th, and then we reconvene on the 5th of January in a fellowship format. We are looking for volunteers for fellowships. I think you probably saw that in the newsletter on Tuesday, so make sure if you're interested in hosting that you let Kitty know. I also need to tell you that as of January 1, the board has decided to change the incentive for new members, so look for more detail on that on the other side of the first of the year. We would, of course, always like to grow the membership roster at Rotary Club of Des Moines, so thank you for visiting, those of you who are here. And please seriously consider being part of this organization. We'd love to have you. Okay, one last thing, and this is a joke that may or may not land well. Butch tells me that you gladly accept a Bitcoin in one of those salvation buckets. Yeah, I don't know how those get deposited, but I think it's something like $17,000 a coin, so yeah, I'm sure you'd be happy to take one. All right, thank you for being here. Thank you to the Botanical Garden for all you do. We are adjourned.